The end now appears to be in sight for the trial within a trial in the Senzo Meyiwa murder case. A ruling on the admissibility of confessions allegedly made by 2 of the 5 accused is expected on Thursday. In their arguments, the defense argued that the prolonged use of tight handcuffs amounted to torture. Mnisi reports.
After 5 months of hearing evidence from 14 state witnesses and 2 witnesses for the defense, the trial within a trial is finally drawing to a close. Arguments wrapped up with the defense arguing that the prolonged use of tight handcuffs on accused number 1, Mnisi, amounted to torture. It is for this, amongst other bases, that they want the confessions thrown out.
I don't have to be accused number 1 to imagine the excruciating pain when your body is only leveraged. You are lifted up with the handcuffs at your back. And that happened at Tembisa, according to accused number 1, twice. Because first time, all 3 of them, the 2 gentlemen that he was with, they were made to lay down. Then they picked accused number 1 up. Who are you? I'm Mnisi. I'm from Kwamatabatini. Lay him down. Pick these ones up. They are not restrained. Whatever happened to them happens to them. He goes on the ground for the second time again. He's leveraged, lifted up with those handcuffs, with his hands at the back. So from there, assault and torture in this manner, it is my submission, my Lord, begins.
Ramasipili is referring to an incident that took place when Sibiya was arrested in Tembisa on the 30th of May 2020, where he claims Sibiya was tightly handcuffed and sustained injuries as a result. He says this was the beginning of the torture to ultimately solicit a confession from him. Although Ramasipili was arguing on behalf of both accused, he only represented accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. According to the state, Ntanzi made his first admission 2 days after his arrest outside his place of employment, which prompted the lead investigator, Brigadier Bongani Gininda, to make arrangements for his confession to be taken.
Now, accused number 2, as we say, my Lord, vehemently denied that he made any admissions or any statements that may be construed as confessions to Gininda. And he denies that he called Gininda to come back and he talked to him. But Gininda says after talking to accused number 2, he then tells him not to proceed further. He will arrange for him to meet an independent person to take the statement from him. Accused number 2 agrees, and Gininda and Mohola then leaves the mine complex in Sibanye Gold Mine. What are the probabilities, my Lord?
Ramasipili says Ntanzi traveled with the police from the morning of the 18th of June 2020, when they had taken him to his place of employment, until the morning of the next day, arguing that this was a form of torture.
From the morning of the 18th, booked back the following morning at around 2, and then booked out at 4:50, then booked at Primrose at 4:30. In total, accused 2 was in the hands of police officers in handcuffs, deprived of sleep, deprived of comfort, because he says at some stage water was poured on him. When he went back to the cells, he couldn't sleep because it was very cold on the night in question, and shortly thereafter he's woken up to be taken to Foscloras. That, my Lord, we submit, it's perpetuation of torture.
The defense is objecting to the admissibility of these confessions on the grounds that the accused were allegedly assaulted in order to sign statements that were already written. But the burden of proof that the confessions were obtained freely, voluntarily, and in sane and sober senses without any undue influence rests on the state. Should the defense succeed, then the confessions will not be admitted as evidence in the main trial. With the arguments finally coming to an end, the next step is judgment, which will pave the way for a return to the main trial. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Mnisi at the High Court in Pretoria.